Okay, everybody, here we go. And I'm telling you, here we go. So it is now Thursday, May 8th, 2025. Just freaking wow. So we got this, here we go. I'm going to show you a headline right now. Stock market today, NASDAQ to lead Dow and S&P higher as talk of US-UK trade deal boosts sentiment. Let me show you another headline real quick. You're going to love this one here. Trump says U.S. has struck a comprehensive deal with UK ahead of the press conference, which is supposed to come out in about 2 hours from the time I am doing this video blog. I want to show you something. It took me 15 minutes of research. 15 minutes of research and about 20 minutes to put this together. This isn't a deal. This is the deal that isn't. And I'm going to blow the lid off this right now because, again, people, we are being faced with more lies, more deceptions, and more distractions. And let me tell you something. People are starting to wake up. Let's back up before we get here. How about this? Week and a half ago, Lutnick, I have a trade deal. Done. What did the stock market do? Boom, higher. Dow like 600 points higher. The deal? Where is it? Well, it's missing in action here. We don't know of this deal. There's no more mention of Lutnick's deal. Zero. I guess we're not. What's going on here? Now this is a political move to stop the bleeding in the market and a few other things. Let's cover this real quick so you guys and girls understand. Now, this is in your inbox right now. Again, it took me almost no work to get this out because the truth, people, is hidden in plain sight. And they think you're too stupid to maybe look up what the details are. But I know for a fact that you're not that stupid. In fact, you're the smartest people I know out here. So, Lions, the deal that isn't. Hashtag fake. Lions, we are being lied to again. Here's the breakdown. The deal that isn't. Exposing the US-UK Comprehensive Trade Agreement for what it really is. The media is buzzing. The administration is boasting. Trump has declared the newly announced US-UK trade deal as comprehensive, a major breakthrough, the first trade deal so far. No, wait, it was supposed to be Lutnick, but that never happened. Oh, okay. But beneath the surface, behind the press conference lights and scripted headlines, people, this is just more smoke and mirrors. Let's call it for what it is. The deal that isn't, the truth behind the spin. Tariffs are still in place. Despite being labeled comprehensive, the United States continues to impose 10% baseline tariffs on UK imports, and the UK is still applying countermeasures on American goods. So this is comprehensive, huh? A major breakthrough? Make it up. And you think I'm lying? Look this up for yourself. It'll take you 15 minutes like it took me. Selective relief, not a full agreement. This deal includes targeted adjustments, some tariff easing for British steel, digital services, and autos, but not a full trade pact in any way, shape, or form. People, this is a patch, not a partnership. There are still major disagreements which are unresolved, details vague, enforcement questionable. Again, look this up yourself. It's hidden in plain sight and they don't want you to know this. So what's this really all about? It's a political maneuver. It's a political maneuver, plain and simple. Let's talk about why. The market has been bleeding. Inflation pressures continue. Imagine our surprise there. Global investors are losing confidence rapidly, and the public is growing weary, you and I included, of this theatrical, nonsensical headlines and garbage that means nothing to the people on the ground, you and me. This deal is timed perfectly, not for economic growth, perception control. It's a staged victory, rah, 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 we're all rich, to calm the masses and slow the sell-off. The truth is this. There is no comprehensive deal. This is only a coordinated illusion like everything else. People, this is not diplomacy. This is freaking damage control. Damage control. There is no deal here. But imagine our shock. Oh, yes, it's a comprehensive deal. I'll make that up. Oh, yes, it's fantastic, isn't it here? Can't make it up. Let me show you a couple of other things that you can't make up if you possibly try to. You remember yesterday we said this would happen? Trump calls Fed Chair Powell a fool for after central bank keeps rates steady. We said it. Watch for the fireworks. A guy who does not understand. We have a president here. Yes, I'm going to rip him apart. Who does not understand basic economics and finance. Tell me again, people, because you're always smarter than Greg Mannarino is, what are the two and only two fundamental truths in economics and finance? Number one, to have a strong economy, you need a strong currency. Well, does that make sense to you? Yeah, it does. Number two, to have a strong currency, you need a corresponding rate of interest high enough to support the purchasing power of the currency. That's it. There's only two. But President Trump doesn't seem to remember that, even though he went to Wharton Business School. I don't think he spent a day in Wharton Business School. How's that? He had somebody else there posing as him, going through the old curriculum and taking the test, because this is insanity. We don't need a weaker dollar. We need to return purchasing power to the currencies. Does that sound about right to you? Or are those red hat people, the people who still refuse to take off those pathetic symbols of whatever they're supposed to be? Tell me where I got this wrong, because Trump is smarter than Greg, isn't he? Yeah, we're being destroyed. How about this one? You're going to love this one. Trump's crypto advisor, David Bailey, is launching a 300 million Bitcoin investment company. How does that work? Can someone explain to me when members of the inner circle, Trump's inner circle, are allowed to do something like this? Have you ever witnessed anything like this in the history of your life? I'm going to be 60 years old in just a couple of months. I've never seen anything like this. The grift of the century. You want to talk about being a fool? President Trump is calling Powell a fool. Okay, well, who's the real fool when we're adding Bitcoin to our strategic reserves and China is adding gold? Does anyone want to explain that to me? Maybe in a way that someone as myself can understand, like explain as if I'm a small child or a freaking Cocker Spaniel. Maybe you guys can bring me up to speed on that. Now let's talk about this. So on the back of this trade deal that isn't, all right, the dollar did nudge higher above the 100 level. Let me tell you something. It's not going to hold. Once the market realizes that there is no deal, and this is just a smokescreen to pacify investors, to pacify a market that's been bleeding, just like they floated out Licknut. Licknut was floated out as the market was bleeding. Market came up. Same thing here. This is damage control. 10-year yield, flat since yesterday. Very interesting. Now, this is the result of the deal that isn't here, the smokescreen, the lie, the deception. You can't make it up. Dow futures are higher. Okay, I wouldn't say this is anything overly dramatic. Even Lutnick's little lie pushed the market higher than Trump's bigger lie. Let's move forward here. Gold and silver under pressure right now. Now, let me show you what's going on here. You're going to love this part. This is the part I think you've been waiting for. This 300 million Bitcoin investment company, Trump's crypto advisor, is now starting. Look at what it's doing to cryptocurrencies across the board. Boom! You think that any of this is coincidence, including the deal that isn't? Tell me what's really happening here, because I think I nailed it to the wall. How about you? I can't wait to read the comments here. Again, the defenders of Trump. The man who, the only deal he's ever made was a deal with the devil. Yeah. And we're all seeing it right now. Sound about right to you? Yeah, it certainly does. Anyway, guys, he goes, I'm laughing. You can't, people, seriously, could you make this stuff up? Could any of you here make this stuff up? You know what bothers me? Let me tell you something what bothers me a little bit, just slightly. Actually, no, it bothers me a whole lot. As I said, it took me 15 minutes of research to discover what is and is not in the so-called comprehensive, fantastic trade deal. 15 minutes. That's how stupid they think you are. You see, President Trump, the dumpy president, okay, he thinks you're too dumb to even take 15 minutes of your time to see what's actually in the deal that isn't. That bothers me because you know something? They treat us like animals, like dogs, like we're nothing but a means to an end. And let me tell you something, people. We are not a means to an end. And let me tell you something else. Stuff like this, exposing things for what they actually are and getting this out there so more and more people can see it. Well, we're waking the masses up, people, and we are making a positive difference in people's lives because people have no idea. They believe the headlines. They just believe it all. For example, let me just give you another example of this. They show you a picture of the Middle East and they show a big, massive explosion. And then underneath is the headline, the United States just took out a major munitions depot. Really? Oh, this picture. I'm supposed to believe the image is exactly what they're telling me it is? Oh, that had to be a munitions depot. It wasn't some poor person's house or a hospital, of course, right? No, it was a munitions depot because they said it. This is what I'm talking about. It's an illusion. Everything is controlled by contradiction as well. So President Trump, how does it feel to be exposed? How does it feel to be exposed for the liar that you are? Your entire administration here creating more deals with the devil. Your crypto advisor, a $300 million crypto investment scheme here, while China's adding gold to their reserves. We're adding Bitcoin. And look what your advisor just did. You think it's funny, don't you? You think it's funny? You're going to have to answer to him one day. I can promise you that, sir. We all are. Love you guys and girls from the heart with all I got, in here, outside, everywhere. Please share this as far and wide as you possibly can. And just in case you were wondering, this is in your inbox right now. Please share it everywhere. Copy, paste it, whatever you got to do. Let people realize that, again, we are being lied to. This is damage control. This is political theater on a grand scale right before our eyes. Imagine our shock. Let's see how the market reacts to this. Right now, stock futures are higher. Once the market realizes this is nothing, just like Lutnick's little tail, we'll see where this goes. Can't make it up. It's impossible to do. But that's where we are, people. It is absolutely freaking out of control. What else would you expect? I'll see you later, 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern for the live stream.